Amir, thanks so much for taking the time to join us. I know you've been circling the country here on behalf of the IDSF. What's been your agenda so far? What have you accomplished?
Well, we have met many communities, met great people. We are meeting also decision makers, congressmen and senators. We are very worried about the Iranian issue, where it's going, and the Iranians basically, they joined with the Russians and the Chinese, supplying weapons to the Russians in Ukraine. And I think that now we can say very clearly that they are on the other side opposing the US. So we are saying stop pushing the deal, and let's get ready to take care of this huge threat of the nuclear weaponization of Iran.
It's interesting. It was just reported that one of the higher ups in the Pentagon, Colin Kahl, made a little tour of the Middle East, warning American partners in the Middle East not to hedge their bets with China to make sure that Iran stays isolated. Do you think that Middle Eastern countries will fall in line with that, or do you think there's too much of an unknown right now with the American administration that they want to make sure they have a backup plan?
Well, the Iranians signed long-term deals with the Chinese, and they're also getting more and more closer to the Russians. They're all trying to avoid the sanctions, the European and the American sanctions. And I think they are managing to do it quite effectively. So if we want to really deal with stopping Iran, sanctions won't be enough. We'll have to be tougher than that and also prepare other options.
What do you feel are the options on the table right now?
Well, first of all, I think that there needs to be a clear, viable military option against Iran, and it needs to be on the table. And the Iranians need to know that if they'll continue to push the nuclear weaponization and continue to try and get nuclear weapons, eventually something will need to be done. We need to stop them.
We've heard lately the Biden administration repeatedly say that they're not focused on the Iran nuclear deal anymore. There's too much going on with human rights violations in Iran, other developments within Iran. Do you feel that is a serious position for the Biden administration, that they've backed off the nuclear accord? Or do you feel the first time that Tehran moves toward it again, the Americans will be willing to re-engage?
I think that the administration needs to understand that Iran poses a global threat. It's not a threat only to the Middle East that might collapse if the Iranians, manage to get nuclear weapons. And also if they continue to get a lot of money and weaponize all the militias around us, in Hezbollah, the Houthis, the Iraqis, and so on. So I think the administration needs to understand that they really need to deal with Iran and be tough on them. And they cannot just say we're walking away from that. It's not only about the deal. Iranians are continuing to moving forward with the nuclear weapons program.
This is a time of great transition right now. An incoming Israeli government, a split U.S. Congress, and the Biden administration kind of hanging in the middle there. What does all the newness, what does all the freshness mean here for Israeli security?
Well, first of all, I think it's a huge change in Israel. It's the first time ever, I think, that we have a right-wing government. And this is a historical moment where we can actually push forward important policies. We need to take care of internal security. We need governance in the Negev, in the Galil, in the mixed cities. We need a strong police. We need a National Guard. And we need also to settle the land. We need to build everywhere in the Negev, Galil, and Judea and Samaria. It's time finally to push forward sovereignty in the Jordan Valley and the Jewish towns. And of course, prepare the army and the Mossad and all the security apparatus for the Iranian threat. So there's a lot going on, a lot of challenges, and we as IDSF will assist the government anywhere we can. We'll push forward the policies, and if they actually do what they need to do, we'll provide the umbrella on the media, on the social media, and with briefings all around.
Now you're staying on top of it. Brigadier General Amir Avivi, thank you so much. We appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.